Happy Imbolc Eve, everybody. This is Bridget, and a candle with a flame right from Bridget's Flame in Ireland. I also have a bowl of water here. Not a lot because I spilled it on the way out to my balcony. But I have a little bottle with water from Bridget's well in Ireland. So I put some in there. And this is Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And I started doing a video earlier, and apparently I used up all the storage in my phone. And so my video stopped. And I haven't figured out how to do editing or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what this video is going to be like. But I already talked about a lot of stuff. I'm sitting out here on my balcony on Imbolc Eve. That grandmother moon up here, full moon on Imbolc, da 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 da. And I'm just sitting here celebrating Bridget, who, from my Irish heritage, she's basically the matron goddess, the matron saint of Ireland, and she was so powerful with the Irish Celts that the church didn't dare just wipe her out like they did with a lot of others. So they actually sainted her and made her into a saint, so kind of downgraded her a little bit. But she was so powerful and so beloved that if they had tried to wipe her out, it would have been resistance, and so they allowed her worship to continue just under the auspices of sainthood. And there is a coven of Brigantine nuns, the nuns that are the keepers of Bridget's flame, which has been burning for hundreds and hundreds of years. They keep the flame going because Bridget is, I apologize, there's a lot of car noise because I'm on my balcony and the road is right there. And I'm trying to talk softly because it's past midnight and I don't want to disturb my neighbors. But anyway, so I am out here honoring Bridget. I'm not gonna like set sacred space or do any real big like high ceremony or anything for her right now. Right now it's just kind of an observance. Kind of like, because she is the goddess of springtime. This is Imbolc, which is usually around February 1st or 2nd. And Imbolc apparently means ewe's milk, ewe as in a female sheep. And this is the time of the year when sheep are lambing. The lambs are being born and the milk is starting to flow. It's kind of like indicative of the quickening of spring. It's not the full-blown green and colors and everything. This is kind of the subtle stirring, the quickening of spring. The tree sap is starting to run, at least here in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe not in Minnesota, where I'm from, where it's still frozen and you can still walk on the frozen lakes because it is so cold. But here, this is the time of year when we get the daffodils and those kind of flowers starting to pop up. And there's like maybe little buds on the trees. And I know most people in modern days are aware of the equinoxes and solstices, which are kind of the 4 quarters of the year. But to the Celts, what they call the cross quarters are even more important. So between every quarter of the year, between every equinox and solstice, there is another holiday. This one is Imbolc, and then there's Beltane, Lunasa, and Samhain, according to the Celtic calendar. And those were much more important to the Celtic people. They still observed the equinoxes and solstices, but they weren't as big of a deal as the cross quarters. At least from what I understand. I am not an expert. but that's what I understand. And unlike our modern thought where the first day of spring is spring equinox, just like the first day of summer is also called midsummer. I wonder why. Because spring equinox is actually the middle of spring. Spring starts now, like I said, with this, just the subtle budding of some of the flowers, a little bit of the budding of the trees, the sap starting to run. This is the beginning of spring, and spring equinox is kind of like the height of spring. And so I'm out here celebrating Bridget, who is the goddess of the forge. So she is the goddess of the flame and the goddess of wells, the goddess of water. There are many waterways and wells in Ireland dedicated to her. As I said earlier, I've got a little bottle of water from one of her wells in Ireland that a friend brought back for me. And just like the flame of the candle, so I have a friend from Gaia's temple that went to Ireland, and she brought candles with her, and she lit those candles from Bridget's flame at this convent of nuns who have been keeping Bridget's flame alive for hundreds of years. In this complex building land that is dedicated to Bridget, and so that flame carries her energy. And a friend of mine brought back lit candles from that flame and brought them back here, and then we lit candles, our own candles, from the candles that she had lit from the Bridget's flame. And the thing is with candles that even though she had to blow out the candles to bring them back here, that candle, once it's lit with that flame, that candle carries that energy, carries that medicine. And so once you light it again, it still carries that energy. And so when you light another candle from a candle that's been lit from Bridget's flame, this is essentially Bridget's flame. The same with the water. I put some tap water into my little dish, and I just put a couple of drops of Bridget's water in it. And so when you have water from a sacred location like Bridget's well or some other sacred waterway, you have a bowl of water, you just put a drop or two in of the sacred water, it all becomes sacred water. And so I have this kind of little, what do I want to call it, vigil to Bridget sitting out here. I got to get my phone too close, I don't want to turn red. You wouldn't like me when never mind. So I just wanted to, in the coming year, I would like to share more kind of incidental little windows into my life as a shaman. Not just the big adventures and the ceremonies and all of that stuff, but like the simple things I do on a daily basis, etc., that like I don't even think about. But I always forget that not everybody lives like I do. And so want to bring a little bit of newness and inspiration to people, not say, you could do this, but to maybe inspire people to re-enchant their daily life, right? Bring a little more enchantment, a little more magic. Actually integrate a little more of your spiritual path into daily life. So this is one of the ways I do it. And I'm really, really tempted to leave the candle burning all night in tribute to Bridget, but seeing as I'm in this apartment complex and it's outside, not wouldn't be watching it, etc. I'm not going to do that, because even when I blow the candle out, the candle still carries Bridget's energy. So when I get ready to go back inside, I will blow it out. But I'm going to leave her statue and her water out here overnight. And the other thing I'm going to do that I just learned about a year or two ago, where did I put it? Okay. If I can't find it, I mean, I'm sitting on it. I have a red cloth, red for the flame, right? And I can't really, so there's a tradition where you take a red cloth and you lay it out on the yard, on your lawn, on the grass overnight. And the dew that comes up and soaks that cloth is a blessing from Bridget. And again, so then you have this cloth that you can use all year long that carries Bridget's energy with it. So if you need that boost of creativity or inspiration, you know, she's the goddess of the forge, right? It's the temperance of water and fire in building new things. She's the goddess of poetry, the goddess of creativity. And it's the combination of those two elements, fire and water, right? When you're forging a sword or something, you put it in the fire, and then you put it in the water, and then you put it in the fire, and you put it in the water. So you're using both, you're utilizing both of those elements to create something new. It's not about one versus the other, and it's like the yin yang, like they work together. Each one has its time, each one has its turn for the creation, step by step by step, of creating something new. And so I'm going to take this cloth. I can't, because I'm on the second floor, I can't really leave the cloth out on the grass. I mean, I probably could, but wouldn't be guaranteed it would be there in the morning. So instead, I'm just going to drape my cloth over my railing on my deck, and I don't think it's going to rain overnight, but if it does, so be it, right? And Bridget is the goddess of the water, and so however it gets wet, whether it's the dew or the moisture in the air or the rain, I'll wake up tomorrow morning and have that cloth as a blessing from Bridget, that I can like wrap it around things or put it on my altar, just to remember her and to ask for inspiration or creativity or whatever it is that I'm working with her with. So like I said, I had done a whole nother video that cut off in the middle because I had used up too much of my phone storage. And I was thinking I might try to put these two together, but I think I'm just going to leave it as this one. So I'm just trying to remember if there was anything else from the first video that I wanted to say before I go. I was talking to someone last night about Bridget, about Imbolc, and I didn't realize how big a deal that it was for me, that she is for me. But as an artist, as a cartoonist, you know, besides being Irish, and a shaman, which is about carrying the flame, you know, being a fire bringer, a light bringer, she is everything that is important to me, and I didn't realize how important she was to me until I started talking about her and talking about Imbolc, and how, you know, I always kind of figure this is when my new year starts. It's like, yeah, I go through New Year's Eve and I celebrate, and you know, maybe make some intentions, set some intentions for the year. But the other thing about Imbolc is it's a time of dedication. And so at some point this weekend, well, it's already Saturday, so probably tomorrow at some point, I'll probably do a little ceremony and decide what it is that I'm dedicating myself for this coming year, and whether it's a goddess or a way of life or, you know, a task, whatever it is, and really dedicate myself before Bridget. And that's something. Hey everybody, it's Patrick. My phone keeps cutting out. I have to go through and delete a bunch of stuff, but so I'm going to end this here. Let's figure out how to clip this to the other video. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, so growth opportunity, get to learn new things. Anyway, so I hope you have a wonderful Imbolc, and I hope to see you again soon. And until I do, know that I love you, that I see you, that I honor you. A wonderful, wonderful day, night, whatever time it is there, and go shining.